Hola clase, hoy vamos a mirar la lección 9.2, la gramática 9.2 que se encuentra en el libro de texto en la página 314 en el libro de texto. Y hoy vamos a considerar 4 verbos que cambian de significado en el pretérito. Okay, so these are 4 verbs, only 4 verbs that we're going to look at today that have a change in meaning when they're in the past tense. So they mean one thing in the present tense, they mean something else in the past tense. So these 4 verbs are, of course, conocer, saber, poder, and querer. And we see here the chart tells us the difference between the present and the preterite. So to know or to be acquainted with, as we know, we use conocer in the present tense. But to meet, to make the acquaintance of, we use conocer in the past tense. So for instance, conocí a esa pareja ayer. For saber in the present tense, we know for information or know how to do something. However, in the preterite, we use saber to say to find out or to learn some new knowledge about something. So supimos la verdad anoche. So we found out, we learned the truth last night. Poder in the present sense means to be able to or to can, right? Podemos hacerlo. Whereas in the past tense, in the affirmative at least, and we'll get to that in a moment, it means to manage or to succeed in doing something. So pudimos hacerlo ayer. So we managed to do it yesterday. We succeeded in doing it yesterday. And then querer in the present tense means to want or to love. And in the past it means to try. Right? So quise evitarlo, pero fue imposible. And you also already know the irregular conjugation of querer and poder from the previous lesson. In the preterite, that is, the irregularities. So in the preterite, for poder and querer, we have to take into consideration if they're affirmative or negated, right? So if it's a negative sentence, it changes even more. Okay, so we already know from this slide that querer and poder change in the past tense, but then if we negate it, it changes even one step more. Okay, so pude, as we know, is I succeeded, for instance, or I managed to, right? Whereas no pude is I failed to. So you actually tried and you failed. Quise, as we saw in the previous slide, means I tried, right? Whereas no quise is I refused. So there's a difference there. So keep those in mind, the difference between the affirmative poder and the preterite and the negated poder, the affirmative querer and the negated querer. And this isn't just for yo, this could be for any person, right? Here the examples are for yo, but it could be pude, pudiste, no pudimos, no pudiste, etc. Okay, no quisiste, no quiso, etc. So it's not just for yo. Alright, so let's do a few activities. Let's start here with completar. So you know the drill. I will tell you to pause it, and you'll pause it and think about the answer before completing the sentence. Alright, so let's read the instructions. Dice, completa cada oración con el pretérito del verbo adecuado. Algunos verbos se pueden usar más de una vez. So we're only using the preterite here, okay? So número 1. Esta semana blank llamarte varias veces por teléfono, pero estuve ocupadísima. Pause. And we're back. So here we would say, quise. Right, I tried to call you, right? I tried to call you many times, okay? Número 2. Mi esposo y yo no blank brindar con los invitados en nuestra boda. Mi hermano dejó el champán en casa. Okay, pause. And we're back. So here we would be pudimos. We failed to, right? We were unable to because the champagne was at home, right? No pudimos. Okay? Número 3. Papá, ¿cómo blank a mamá? ¿Te la presentaron unos amigos o te enamoraste de ella en una fiesta? Pause. And we're back. So here he's asking, how did you meet Mama? So it would be conociste. Conociste. Okay? Conociste. 4. Señor Ramírez, ¿por qué nunca Blaine cambiar de trabajo? ¿No se aburrió de hacer lo mismo toda la vida? Pause. And we're back. Here would be quiso. Right? So why did you basically refuse to change work, right? And it's Señor Ramirez, so we're talking in the usted form. We know that because it's se aburrió. So that's why it's quiso, not quisiste. 5. Luego de romper, Marisa no blank nada de Nelson durante 2 años. Sorprendentemente, la semana pasada Nelson fue a verla y se comprometieron. Alright, pause it. And we're back. Here would be supo. Right? Marisa didn't find anything out. She didn't learn anything about Nelson for 2 years. Okay? 6. Y la última. Después de la cena, Viviana y Matías salieron a pasear por el centro. Así Blank a hablar y conocerse un poco más en su primera cita. Pause. And we're back. Here would be pudieron. Right? They were able to. They succeeded in, right? Speaking and getting to know each other a little bit more. So if we submit this, we'll see how we did. And it looks like we got them all correct. Muy bien. Ok, vamos a continuar a la otra actividad. Ok, esta actividad es semejante. Here we're just practicing with the forms. It tells us the instructions, fill in the blanks with the preterite tense of the indicated verbs. So we'll move through this one pretty quickly. So Liliana no, and then poder llegar a la fiesta de cumpleaños de Esteban. Pause. And we're back. Pudo. Las chicas blank con conocer a muchos estudiantes en la biblioteca. Pause. And we're back. Conocieron. Raúl y Marta no querer invitar al padre de Raúl a la boda. Pause. And we're back. Quisieron. Right? So they refused here. So remember the changes in meaning here. Lina, saber ayer que sus tíos se van a divorciar. Pause. Supo, found out, right? Learned that her uncle and aunt were going to divorce. Nosotros, poder regalarle una bicicleta a Mariana. Pause. And we're back. Pudimos. María, querer romper con su novio antes del verano. Pause. And we're back. Quiso. Ok, clase, eso es todo para hoy. Gracias, buen trabajo y hasta luego.